Namaste students. We have seen the valuation of goodwill. Now we'll see the valuation of shares. Then let us see the meaning of shares. Share is a share in the share capital of a company. It is the definition given by Companies Act 1956. We know that here shares can be valued at par, at a discount, at a premium. So depends on the market value of the shares it is or the reputation of the company. It all happens. You know that in case of shares quoted in the recognized stock exchanges, those stock exchanges, National Stock Exchange maybe, or Bombay Stock Exchange, like this, so many other stock exchanges are there. These are important. So the prices quoted in the stock exchange are generally taken as the basis of valuation of shares. However, the stock exchange prices are determined generally on the demand and supply position of the shares and on business cycle. For example, the London Stock Exchange opines that the stock exchange may be linked to a scientific recording instrument which registers not its own actions and options, but the actions and options of private institutional investors all over the country or world. Those who are the private institutional investors, not based on the stock exchange. The institutional investors. Institutional investors means maybe banks or any postal departments or some other UTIs and all this. Because institutional investors, they are qualified institutional buyers. They pool the money of the people in the form of mutual fund. So the banks or the LIC or post offices which buy shares, they are investing nearly 50% of share capital in the capital of the particular company. They are all called qualified institutional buyers, right? So based on that, the price of the shares are determined. So it is the opinion of London Stock Exchange. The actions and opinions or options are the result of fear, because we are afraid to invest in the share market, or maybe a guesswork or intelligent or otherwise good or bad investment policy and many other considerations. We are afraid of because once we invest in the share market, so we are like shareholders or we are the owners of the business. In case of dissolution or liquidation of the company, there is no guarantee that we are going to get back our money. So if there is a here prosperity of the business, then we'll get dividend. Until see, we can sell the shares what we have when it is converted into stock in the secondary market. We cannot sell whatever shares we bought. We cannot sell them in the primary market. We can sell them in the secondary market. When it is when it is converted into fully paid shares, then it becomes stock. Then only we can sell in the secondary market if there are buyers. If there are no buyers, then we cannot sell it. And again, it is a very cumbersome, very difficult job. We must have a watch on share market, share market monitor or screen. We have to observe very often, or brokers we have to appoint, or we have to take the help of brokers and all this to see all this. And share market is, it is not very this one very comfortable. So it is very risky venture. Risks are there because in the market ups and downs you can find competition is there. So share value very often it fluctuates. That's why fear of investment is there in the minds of the investors. And sometimes we do guesswork also. So many guesswork because here it is not like a bank deposit. So if the company becomes if the company dissolved, or if the company liquidated, so many things come in the mind. So many guesswork we do, and sometimes it is intelligence also. Whenever we are investing in any portfolio you take, anything you take, whenever we are investing, we should not invest in one portfolio. You have to have multiple portfolios. You have to keep your savings, you have to keep in the bank, here in the form of bank deposit, in savings account also you have to keep the money. You have to invest in NSC, you have to invest in provident fund, and we can buy shares or debentures of a company. So many things like this. Even LIC policies also we have to buy to cover the risk of our life and our loved one also. So many multiple here, multi investment must be there. If we focus on single this one investment investment this one portfolio, then if anything goes wrong there, we are going to lose everything at once. That's why it shouldn't be there. So when the people rational investor is there, he thinks of this. He thinks about the investment also, what rationality is there, so that he thinks. This is also intelligence. And here investing in multi portfolio, that is also there. Or sometimes we think whether it is too good to invest in share market or bad to invest in share market. Different policies are there. All those things we have to consider. Then the quotations, what result definitely do not represent valuation of company by reference to its assets and its earning potential. So whatever quotation the company gives may not be true also most of the time, because assets and earning potential may not be true value, because market value will be different and the cost value will be different. So whenever they are valuing their assets, they take the uh, cost whichever usually, just simply they just fool the investors. Actually, as per the rules, whenever we value the asset, we have to consider the cost price or the market price, whichever is less. But most of the times they don't do like that. So that also we cannot believe on quoted price. Therefore, the accounts are here. Accountants are called upon to value the shares. So remember, to value the shares, accountants are called. So now let us see what is here valuation of shares. Valuation of shares is the process of knowing the value of a company's shares. Value of a company shares. Share valuation is done based on quantitative technique, and share value will vary depending on the market demand and supply. The share price of the listed companies which are traded publicly can be easily known. Remember, shares, whatever the face value of the share is there, that is not the true value, because shares value or value of the shares is, it is the value of the company. Remember, because if the company is very reputed one, very good one, people come forward to take the shares at any price. So then obviously we can find the here value of the shares more than its face value. Face value is nothing but whatever just like currency note. On the currency note, if rupees 10 is written, the value is 10 only there. So whomsoever hold it. But here then you can buy worth of that much 10 rupees goods only. But shares value is not like that. So if even though if it is written 10 on the face of the share, but you can sell it for more than that also, or you can sell it for less than that also. If the company is reputed one, you can sell it for more price. If the company is here very weak company or very sick company, then you have to sell it less than the face value. All these things here uh, takes place. So we have to value the shares. So by that we come to know what is the position of the company. Okay. Now see. There are so many factors which affect the value of the shares of a company. Nature of business is first. What kind of business you are doing, whether it is essential, very comfortable things they are producing, or very luxurious goods, depends on that, because your market must be there for the company or business. If market is not there, how they are going to make the profit? That's why nature of business we have to see what is the nature of business. Then economic policies of the government. What policy is there? So what tax rate is there? What here about the investment, and whether foreign direct investment is there, or whether even which in which field it is there. That all we have to think. Then demand and supply of the shares. So what demand is there for the shares? It means very big here. Companies like Tata, Birla, Mafatla, Reliance, all these are very good, very prosperous companies. Obviously, they here for their shares demand will be more. Obviously, when demand is more, obviously there will be short supply. Obviously, they are going to increase the shares value, right? So that also we have to see. Then rate of dividend paid. Dividend is nothing but return on the investment made in shares. So when we are making investment in the shares, may take for example, if you are investing 10,000 rupees in shares, so every year in the annual general meeting, usually they declare the dividend, like how in the banks they declare interest on the deposit, like that on the shares also the by companies they declare dividend on the investment, because all the shareholders are here the company's owners. That's why dividend is nothing but return on the investment made in shares, right? So that is here what rate they are giving, that also very important. So very good rate is there, then value will be automatically more, because every person they want return on their investment, that's why the value will be more. Then the yield of other related shares in the stock exchanges. So what even other related here in other companies what here yield is there, what result they are getting, what profit they are getting. Based on that also, we can value the particular company's shares. Then net worth of the company. What is the net worth of the company? Net asset value of the company. That also here is one of the important factor to consider the value of the shares. Then earning capacity. What is the earning capacity? How much profit they earn? That also counts for the valuation of shares. Then quoted price of the shares in the stock market. In the stock market, what quoted price is there? That is also here. So it depends on that. Based on that also we can value the shares. Then profits made over a number of years. Means all the year. If the profits made are consistent, means in all the periods, in all the previous year, if the profits are somewhat is consistent, similar profit or same profit more or less, if it is made, it means the company is consistent. There is no much flexibility. If flexibility is there, 1 year profit they are making, another year loss, another year huge profit, one more year no profit at all, if it is there, then obviously the company will not be having the future, then value of the shares will be obviously less. Then dividend paid on the shares over a number of years. So every year, how much dividend they declare on the investment, that also they see, because here every person they expect dividend or return on their investment. So even in what return in the form of dividend is they are getting, investors are getting, it is the income for them. Whether here any constant return they can or income they can get or not, they also that also they here see. So that also here helps for the valuation of shares. Then prospects of growth, any growth is there for the company, either here horizontal or vertical growth, any chance is there, or any enhanced earning per share is there, that all they here the investors look at. Because always nowadays you remember, here if the company is producing single product, for that company there is no future. If they are going, if they are whatever producing multiple products, then obviously one product is incurring loss, other products save them. That's why better to have nowadays multiple products in a company, or company should have go for multiple here production, whatever it may be service or goods. Multiple say, that's why you all know big companies, you can see, if you see the Tata here business, what not is there? See, they are having Tata Health Centers, Tata Educational Institutions are there, motors are there, so many, even salt is there. Here, yeah, all types of here productions are there. So obviously, one fails, another holds them. That's why that also we have to see while purchasing or valuing the shares. Now let us see why there is a valuation of shares, or what are the need, or what are the purpose of valuation of shares, purpose or objectives. Why there should be a valuation of shares? What are the objectives of valuation of shares? Let us see. So for assessment of wealth tax, estate duty, gift tax and all this, we have to value the shares. The amalgamation absorption. Amalgamation, sometimes most of the business, so amalgamation takes place, absorption of the company, one company absorbs the another company. So all these amalgamation purpose, absorption purpose, the shares are to be valued. Then for converting one class of shares into another class, if you want to convert preference shares into equity shares, then also we have to see equity shares cannot be converted into preference shares, but preference shares can be converted into equity shares. They are called preference shares. So those convertible preference shares can be converted to equity shares. Then we have to see the value the shares. Then advancing loans on the securities of shares. In the say here, shares are kept in the form of security to give the loans or to give the advances. For that purpose also shares must be valued. Then compensating the shareholders on acquisition of shares by the government under scheme of nationalization. So sometimes here private companies, when they are very important from the point of view of nation, then nationalization of those companies can be done. For example, here in the year 1969 and in 1980, so many banking companies were nationalized. Yeah, 1969, 14 banks were nationalized. In 1980, six more banks were nationalized. So prior to that, they were private businesses, private banks. So when they had to be taken by the government, the all the shareholders, they have to be given some compensation, because shareholders are the real owners. They are leaving, they are giving their ownership, they are transferring their ownership to the government. That's why they are to be given compensation. So in that case also, shares must be valued. Then acquisition of interest of here dissenting shareholder under the reconstruction scheme. So sometimes see reconstruction of business will be there. For that, maybe external reconstruction or internal reconstruction. For that purpose, shareholders are to be given due importance. That purpose also shares must be valued. Then let us see what are the factors influencing valuation of shares. Various factors. We can see, as there are shares, only with the shares face value we cannot value the shares. We cannot say this is the value of the shares, because so many factors affecting the valuation of shares. They decide the value of the shares. For example, current stock market price of the shares. Stock market price in the here of shares. In the stock market, what price is there? That also decide the value of the shares. Because you know that share market, maybe we are in India, Bombay Stock Exchange, or national stock exchange, you can see ups and down every time. It will not be constant. So bullion market, they are always busy. So that here, that also affects the valuation of shares. Then profits earned and dividend paid over the years. Again, profit earned, what profit they are earning every year, and what dividend they pay there, because every investors, they want return on their investment. Obviously, they should have a look at it. So that also here affect the valuation of shares. Then what reserves are there, availability of reserves and future prospects of the company. What reserve are, what general reserve is, different reserves we here, the companies, the companies create different reserves like general reserve, sinking fund reserve, so many reserves they here create, because these reserves, whatever they have created, it is for the future development. It is for, because when general reserve is accumulated, huge amount is there. If we see for the growth of the business, those general reserve, accumulated general reserve can be converted into either here share capital by issuing either share here by issuing right shares, right, or bonus shares also. By issuing right shares or bonus shares to the shareholder, the company can convert the reserves into capital. They can make use of that for the further growth or future of the business. That also here affect the valuation of the shares. Then releasable value of the net asset of the company. Net asset of the company means of capital employed, all the here, all the asset less outsider liability. Outsider liability includes creditors, bills payable, all these. Your bank overdraft, all these outsider liability to deduct. So a net asset here, then we are going to get the net asset. What is the value of what? How much we can fetch money if the net assets are sold? That also counts for the valuation of shares. This is also one of the factor very much responsible for the valuation of shares. Then next is current and deferred liabilities of the for the company. What liabilities are there at current stage, and what will be the future liability? Deferred means postponed liabilities. That also here we have to consider while valuing. This factor very much affects. Then age and status of plant and machinery of the company. Age and status also very important. Plant and machinery, because whatever plants and machinery we are using, after certain period we have to replace them, because here once the plant and machinery are bought, they are invested in the business, it doesn't mean that they will be in the business forever. Maximum 10 to 15 years plant and machinery will be there. So what is the age and status of the plant and machinery? If it is here age old, then they have to be replaced by new machineries. Then what depreciation fund is there? Accumulated fund is there. That is to be seen. This also affects the valuation of shares. Then net worth of the company. What is the worth of the company? That also affects the valuation of the company. Then record of efficiency, integrity, and honesty of board of directors and other managerial personnel of the company. How efficient here the managerial personnel, maybe board of directors, managing directors, all these. What integrity is there among them only? What kind of relation is there? How they are here among themselves? Then how, what kind of, what to what extent they are honest? So that all counts for the here valuation of shares. Then quality of top and middle management of the company and their professional competence. What qualities their top management will be there? So and middle management also, they have to do they have to assign the duties to various personnel. So what here? Because their quality in here, their quality also helps how best they can get the things done by the workers. That also that helps them Their quality helps them to take the work from their fellow colleagues. That also here helps for the valuation of shares. Then record of performance of company in financial terms. So where is here how record here, what kind of what tax paid, what dividend is paid, then what is the profit made, dividend paid, tax paid, reserve created, then what charitable purpose what is given, then what social responsibility it has. That all responsible for the valuation of shares, right? Then we'll see what are the different methods of valuation of shares. These methods will deal in detail when we solve the problem. Then we'll go just we'll have a different methods at a glance. So those methods here, open market price is there, stock exchange quotation is there, net assets basis, earning per share method, yield or return method, net worth method, breakup value method. So many again some more from methods are also there. Okay, these are methods I explain when we solve the problem only, right? So here again, otherwise now also have to explain again. Have to explain is no need. Will explain then only. Okay, thank you. We'll see in the next class. Okay, thank you. And in the next class, I'm going to solve the problem. Remember, students, problem solved will be here. It is step by step. I'm solving. It is not solved and we are explaining. Step by step it is being solved, and as we solve on the board. So you have to be careful. Okay, thank you one and all.